look at that. Thinking of the topics that you all could have had. The only game that makes me feel so alive. I guess if you're 30, it can be on the line. Getting them all would be a superpower. You could get it every week on the JB Waffle Hour. JB Waffle Hour.
I love that song.
JB Waffle Hour.
Hello everybody.
JB Waffle Hour. I wish we get JB Waffle Hour.
Hello everybody.
JB Waffle Hour.
I love that song.
I wish we could end JB Waffle Hour.
Hello everybody. I love that song. Hello everybody. I love that song.
The JB Waffle Hour. The JB Waffle Hour. Yes, I'm here. I'm all alone again this week. Welcome back to the JB Waffle Hour and episode 118. Everybody has abandoned me again. Scotty is sick. John is off learning new skills, which coincides with what last week's episode was, which was episode 117. Make sure you wrap your banana, where we talked about the basic skills and things you should know, or if you don't know them, you probably should know them by a certain time in your life. So I hope you went back and listened to that. It was quite a good episode. I think we might have highlighted a lot of things maybe people didn't know. If you have a chance, please make sure you rate, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Wherever you are on the social medias, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, and the Twitter has died a little bit. Oh, sorry, the X has died a little bit. Actually, no, that's in great. Yes, Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter, whatever that social medium is called now. We're not overly active on that, but we do have a Facebook page as well. But I think the main thing is Instagram. If you get onto Instagram and make sure you follow us, because we have loads of listeners, but we don't have loads of followers on Instagram. And I kind of like both. Call me greedy, but anyway. If I haven't already said it, hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode 118. As I said, it is me on my own this week. And to cover back on last week, if you go onto Spotify under all our episodes, there is a little question there that you can answer. You can interact with us on that. We do have polls up. The question on last week's episode was, what is a basic skill everyone should know? And of course, Damien straight in there. And Damien is one of our top replies and interactors. And he said basic food preparation, how to cook simple meals. Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm not sure whether we cover that, but any people who, I don't know, is moving out, who live on their own, who is maybe going to college, and things like that, food preparation is important. Knowing what to put the oven at, how to cook certain things. Dishes is always good, not just like one random thing, like, oh, I can cook chicken, but what do you put with chicken? Make sure you get your vegetables, your protein, your carbs, all that good stuff in, and all your vitamins and things like that. And make sure you cook your meat thoroughly. Make sure it's piping hot all the way through. And if at all possible, to cook on like the hob and the oven, I think, rather than in the microwave. Microwave's not really cooking, is it? That goes with the name cooker. Yeah, you cook on a cooker. You don't really cook in a microwave. Microwave is handy for certain things, of course, but it's probably better to cook nice natural food and good wholesome ingredients. So that is important. The poll from last week then was, can you change a car tire? So we have 75% said yes, 25% said no. So those 25 people, how many votes do we have on that? 114 votes. So what's 25% of 114? Yeah, not going to do that maths on a podcast. Yeah, someone else I'm sure can tell me. But yes, so those 25 people, you cannot change a car tire. As I said, it's quite easy once you know the technique. A couple of safety points, obviously. Make sure you don't change it on a hill. I'm not sure we said that last week. Nice flat ground. Loosen the nuts before you jack it up. Make sure you know where the jack is. There's also be a little socket if you have a lock nut, which is the funny looking one, and it matches in to take that off. So you'll have an adaptation in the back. You open your boot underneath the floor. You usually lift it up. That's usually where the spare wheel is, and all the spare wheel paraphernalia is in there as well. You have little black caps over the nuts. If you have alloy wheels, you need to pull them off too. So yeah, and loosen the nuts before you jack it up, and then find your anchor point, which is usually a little lip underneath the sill, and jack it up away, and then change around. It's easy, but in fairness, if you have 18 or 19 inch wheels, they are quite heavy to line up. Then of course it's usually on the side of the road that you're in it, which things on the side of the road always makes life a little bit more difficult, doesn't it? Yes, so moving on now, and that's the review of last week done. A review of the weekend then is next. Was at the Meath game on Saturday. Yes, Saturday. In Armagh, not a very good result, 2-16 to 10 points. Good first 15 minutes, of course. They played quite well. Good kicking game in. Got some scores off, like a long kick in, some marks, some catches, some good offloads. Scored a couple of points that way. But then it was like Armagh kind of figured out what was going on, and whatever tweak they made, they managed to counteract that, and Meath just really couldn't come up with anything. Then there was an awful lot of bad shot selection. So yes, I know some of the players are young and it's a young team, and Colin Murk was trying to build something and that, but some of the decision making wasn't great. I wouldn't been happy with them when they're going to shoot and the shot selection at vital times. But to be fair to them, the killer blow was the goal just before half time and then the goal just after half time, which is probably the two worst times to concede a goal. That and probably the last minute of a game, of course, as well. It's never good, but those two were probably kind of hammer blows. And then after that second goal, kind of Armagh was in charge. I think that put them 7 or 8 points up, and then it's very hard to pull back from that. But on to I think they have a weekend off this weekend coming, and then off out to play Kildare. I think that's in Park Dalton. I think they should be home next. I'm not 100% sure. Then on Sunday was down in Longford. We had a challenge game that went quite well, and we had a nutritionist talk beforehand. And if you're looking for a nutritionist, we got Hannah down from Next Gen. Hang on now. I think it's called Next Gen. Do follow her on Instagram. Actually, no, I don't. Oh, was that it there? No, should have it on email. Yes, I know I should have these things wrote down. Next Generation Health, sorry, Hannah Thornton. Next Generation Health, and I have gotten her before for teams I'm with, and like she kind of. I hope I don't insult her in case she does listen to this, because we will tag her in the description. But I hope she doesn't get insulted by what I'm about to say. But like, she's kind of like quirky. She's like easy to listen to, and she does jokes, and she's kind of gets the information across maybe in a light-hearted manner, and she's very easy to follow, and it's concise in an hour with her slides, and she talks through, and she interacts then with people, gets feedback and stuff, and yeah, I think it's really good because it definitely makes you listen, because she's kind of bubbly, quirky, and she kind of draws you in with her personality in order to listen to. Like, you never really fade away in the hour or like drift off. And I think that's a really good quality to have when you're presenting things like that. So hopefully in the next break we can get her back again just to reinforce. And I hope the girls learned a good bit about prepping for games and the food to have at half time. And also about being like a female athlete and things like that. All those good points that she made. I hope they took a lot from it and put it into practice now over the next few weeks. So if you're looking for a nutritionist for any, she does every sport, it's not just like team sports and stuff like that, and do get in touch with her because she's extremely good at her job, and I would highly recommend her to anybody who's looking for one. We can go on to the topic that I'm going to do today. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for an hour. It's the waffle, possibly 15 minutes, because I know I dragged the arse out of it last time when it was just me and put in some clips, but you want some like new content, so we're going to hit you hard and fast. It's just going to be one slice that's relevant to what's coming up. So over the last few months, well, I've always kind of liked this, kind of my favourite meal. So put this way, everybody has their one go-to thing, whether it's you want to really like Chinese, Indian, that weekend treat thing. Oh yeah, I'm dying for Chinese or whatever. You like going Supermax, you like certain thing in the Chippers, or certain food in a certain place or a certain restaurant, and that's your treat, and that's where you go. So my thing is pizza. And now I would never, like, the last time I had a Chinese, was 2016 possibly. Whenever Leanne lived in Trim, whenever that may be, before she spread her wings and flew the coop down to Cork. That was the last time, and I think it was around 2016. I don't miss it, I don't crave it. I would never really think, oh yeah, let's get a Chinese. Just not a food that I would think of doing. Now, that might be because the the food that's in it, I suppose, with whether it's spicy or not, or whatever the case may be. Like, I do like spicy food, but I kind of have a bit of a sweating issue. As in, I sweat a lot from my head for some reason, but that's probably too much information for you to find out on a podcast. So, that's not really why I stay away from Chinese. It's just a personal preference. It wouldn't be something that I would say that I'd want, or Indian, or Thai food, or even like Supermax, or McDonald's. Last time I had a McDonald's was Christmas 22 in Galway, maybe. The last time I had Supermax, I was on a stag in Galway. When was that? Not sure on that one. And then Burger King. Oh God, I said last time I had a Burger King was around 2004. To be honest, down alone. So yeah, just certain food like that I wouldn't never really crave. I'd rather go like maybe to a restaurant, or like I said, get a nice pizza. So you have like stone based pizza, or you have wood fired pizza. I don't like these oven pizzas. So in some restaurants where they just like put the oven in, or the pizza in the oven, and don't really like them ones. Same in like a lot of chippers. I think they're usually oven made pizzas. I wouldn't be kind of fond of them. I want like ones that are nicely made, nice taste on them, and things like that. So I have a list of 5. Now these aren't really a top 5. These are just 5 suggestions, and that is slightly local to Trim, Navan, Meath. Some are a little bit further afield, but not too far. So it's just ones that I've had like maybe in the last 5 months. Now I have had other ones, but obviously down the country we've been different places. In Brussels as well, we had really nice pizza too. And when we were in Bath, we had a really nice pizza as well. So these are just like kind of 5 ones that are somewhat more local, that a little bit more accessible. Now these aren't a top 5, these are just 5 suggestions. So, but just a little bit of information for it. So Inside Out in Slane, it's a restaurant. I don't know if it's the main street. It's one of the streets. And they have actually, what they've done now, instead of having to go into the restaurant, they've taken over a store, a shop, a unit just down the street from it for a takeout section. So they now have one that's totally dedicated to takeouts. So we were coming home from the Mee game, and the Mee game on Saturday was kind of awkward. Now we've been to Inside Out before, but this is the first time we went to the takeaway place that's beside it, their new store. So after the game, Armagh was at 6 o'clock. So what was it over? It was over 7:30. Then you're travelling back, and you're in tracksuits or whatever, so you're not really kitted out for going into a restaurant. Although I'm not sure whether restaurants mind that as much. I would feel that I'd be underdressed if I went to a restaurant in a tracksuit. So I would rather put on some nice clothes if I was going to a restaurant. So we were looking for a place coming home, and it might have been too late again. We got to Navan, so we decided to go Inside Out. And we've been there a few times, I said, but to the restaurant, not to the takeaway part. So we got, I got 4 Seasons mushroom, ham and olives, and a sprinkle of Parmesan was on it. 1950, so most of these are 12 inches. I think actually all of them are roughly around 12 inches. So that would be kind of the size that I would be getting. I think 9 inches is a little bit on the small side, but 12 inches grand. And I do like, as I said, we got the ones in Inside Out before, and they're nice. I do like the crust on it, and quite like, because so the difference between the way these ones are made and say like a Patch and Domino's, like if you like that, that's fine enough, but they're like real heavy on the dough, or like stodgy, or real doughy or real bready. I don't know. So I like kind of like a puffy crust, like a hollow puffy crust that's like crispy. Some of them get a little bit soggy towards the middle, and I know that is like classic Italian. Although I think I heard that pizzas were like they came up with it in like the Bronx or Queens or something, and it was Italian Americans rather than actually pizza being from Italy. I'm not sure if that's true. Someone needs to fact check me on that. I heard that somewhere. I can't remember whether that's true or not. But yeah, that's the kind of the ones I like. And also I find it important for the stuff to stay on it. I don't know whether people like when it all like falls off and stuff, but I like the stuff that I get on the pizza to stay on the pizza, and I like it cut well as well. I don't like having to pull it apart. It's just little things like that. So yeah, Inside Out, that was really nice. Now I'm not an olive fan, but I do like mushrooms and ham, so I went and got the olives. Yeah, olives are grand. They don't really taste of anything, to be honest. Would have made not much of a difference on the pizza, to be fair. But it was really nice. As I said, the crust is nice, the dough is nice. Like, basically, these are 5 I like, so I'm going to say nice things about them. There's nothing really to critique on them because they are nice. They're 1950, so Inside Out in Slane, 1950. The next one then, if you're going a little bit further afield, so it's up the motorway heading towards Newry, is Strandfield. Now, the thing, before you go to Strandfield, it is vegetarian and vegan, so everything is geared towards that. So if you like meat on your pizza, you're not going to get in this place. But believe me when I tell you, you will not miss it. It doesn't matter, because the flavours on this pizza, it's once again fantastic. Whatever is like the cheese, it's like a sprinkle of cheese. So like Inside Out is like kind of chunks of the cheese and it melts. This Strandfield is more like a sprinkle of cheese. I'll put photos up because obviously I've taken photos of all these pizzas, so I have all the pizzas there ready to go. So it's what's the address of it? Ballymcscanlon, Dundalk, if that is the address. But if you put in Strandfield, you see it. They've like a farm shop with all like natural produce and things like that, and some really nice like bread. They've a little bakery there as well, and they've croissants and pastries. Massive. They're so big. I got carrot cake there before, and I got like coconut things. And one of the very few places where you can actually get a glass of milk with your food, because I obviously like buying or drinking milk with my food. So yeah, they are €15 up there. Once again, it's about 12-inch, and like the place is like kind of a rustic design and everything like that. And pizzas are beautiful there. And as I said, they're not the only thing to do. Pizzas is just part of it, but once again, it is it's vegetarian anyway. I'm not sure it's vegan, but it's a really nice location and everything. But it does be quite busy, so you may have to queue. But it is it's once again, it's worth it, especially if you're only even go in and just get your snacks or go to the farm shop next door and buy a few things in there, some nice things there. And then they also have like outdoor seating. So I haven't been there in the summer yet, but I can only imagine like the view. I mean, even when you're sitting in the place, the end wall is like a big window and you're looking out and the view is still amazing, even on the bad weather that we were there. Next then, we'll come a little bit more closer to home with Carlitos out in Crockett's in Bective. His pizzas are €15, so he makes them for you. So yeah, usually you have to text him now. If you find him on Instagram, Carlitos, you text him. And he'll tell you, well, not that he tells you, but like whenever you want them, he'll try and fit you in or whatever. And they're like made to order ones, which are really nice. And I'm pretty sure he makes all the dough and the sauce and stuff, and good ingredients on them as well. Now the Christmas one I got at Christmas obviously was for Christmas, but my God, I think the flavours in that was probably, it was like a taste explosion in your mouth, because it had turkey, cranberry and stuff in it. It was amazing. But obviously, once again, it's only there for Christmas. But I did get, a few weeks ago, got the pulled pork one. Equally as good. Like, I'm not saying, like, the other one was nicer, but that doesn't mean the pulled pork one wasn't nice, if you get me. Once again, I like the base on it as well. All the stuff still stays on it when you lift it up, and he cuts it really well. Because in Strandfield, I had to kind of recut it myself. It's only small things. I don't know why that annoys me, but I like it to be cut. Yeah, and it's always ready when you go. Nice guys out there working, of course, as well. And it's good. Like all these probably are priced around the same. Inside Out is just slightly dearer. Carlitos once again is €15. They're 12 inches. So yeah, find them on Instagram. Next then is Tribe, and I actually looked up the menu today to find out what the name of the pizza I like that's on it. They have like a sourdough base, which is really nice. But they took the duck one off. I used to get duck with I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong as well. Hosting sauce on it, and it was class, because you don't find a duck pizza anywhere else. That's the only one, and it was pulled duck, and it was amazing. So I didn't see it on the menu when I went to look up for the prices in the research today. So Tribe, if you're listening, €16 as well. Just marginally dearer. They do takeaway as well, and then they also have a new trailer which do the pizzas over in Bettystown as well. So there's the Tribe truck, as well as the restaurant in Duleek. You can go in, of course. Nice. It's kind of like a church that they've done up, so it's kind of nicely designed and everything. And we've eaten in a few times and got a few takeaways, but I haven't been to the truck yet. But a bit disappointed if the duck pizza has gone off, because that was probably one of my favourite like ingredients, because everywhere else has been like ham and mushroom. Of course, the Christmas one in Carlitos was nice, and then in Stranfield it was mushroom one as well. But those mushrooms were like amazing, because I think they were like they're from their farm or whatever. They're really fresh. But yeah, no, the duck one, bring back the duck one. That was the best pizza you had. Well, that I liked anyway. Next one then is a little bit further away, but I will go far and wide for good pizzas. Is Ambledown Cottage. It's up in Barrackhill in Glasslough in County Monaghan, just beside Castle Leslie. Their pizzas are $16.90. I got the chicken coop one, so I got it without pesto. I don't know why people put pesto on pizza. It just, no, to me, no, you don't put pesto on pizza. So it's like mozzarella, roast chicken, fresh garlic, mixed peppers, mushrooms, red onions and parmesan. Now that was really nice, and like it's kind of a rustic vibe. It comes out like on like this like tin plate. They have a slightly more burnt crust or burnt base on it, but that gives it a nice earthy taste, so that's pretty nice. And it's solid base throughout as well, so it doesn't get soggy in the middle, which as I said, some of them do. Nice cheese on it as well. It wasn't too stringy. Just don't like stringy cheese. I just like the cheese in places, not like covered in a layer of cheese, if you get me. And sometimes when you get ones in chippers and that, it's just like cheese everywhere, and there's like that film of grease. No, it has to be kind of stone baked or wood fired. They're definitely the best ones, and it gives them like a classic taste of them. Anyway, yeah, so a little bit further from here, but if you're up that direction, obviously it's closer. But it's kind of a quirky place because they have like a glass house and a garden shed, and it's done up with like antiques and things like that. And the front part is the cottage, and in the garden there's all these like different little places to go sit and everything. So it's quite quirky like that, and I believe all these people are on Instagram. You can follow anyway. But they would be around Mead, I guess, and a little bit further afield. If you're looking for a nice pizza, they would be my top 5, not in any chronological order or anything like that. They're just amazing pizzas. I will put pictures up later on Instagram to see them, and we'll tag everybody hopefully when we release this podcast as well, so everybody knows what the crack is. But yeah, there would be the pizzas if you're looking for pizza place. Inside Out in Slane, Stranfield on the way to Dundalk, Carlitos out in Crockett's and Bective, Tribe in Duleek, and Ambledown Cottage then in Glasslough and Monaghan. And there will be places to try this year if you're into your pizzas. Yeah, so that's just a little bit of a pizza review. And if you're looking for places, like I said, to get a nice pizza, Firehead, those places are good. And now, the last thing then, just before we shoot off, and this is just a mini slice, one slice, whatever you'd like to call it. It's while I'm on my own again, before we get back together with Scotty next week, we have some interesting news, exciting news. We're going to change up the format a little bit. We're going to try a few different things. So if you've listened to me ramble about pizza and you got this far, you'll be delighted to know that, well, it'll stay the same. It'll still be the JB Waffle Hour, but we're trying like kind of a new format. We're going to try new things, trying to push it on, because we want it to succeed. And it's simmering away nicely, but it's like hasn't boiled, and we're watching it. And as everybody knows, a watch kettle never boils. So we kind of have to be a little bit more proactive and see will we get the fire lit and get a little bit more famous. That's what we all want. And thanks to our between 400 and 600 listeners, and that's what we're at on most episodes. I think our highest is 620 something. Our lowest is just slightly under 400, around the 360 something mark. But most episodes are getting there in between 400 and 600. We're slow burners. It's not like we release it when we do, in case you don't know, at 7:02 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, that everybody logs on and listens straight away. We're slow burners. Our listenership comes in over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we hit a little bit of peak on the weekend, and then of course it tails off on Monday and Tuesday while everybody waits for the next episode. So yeah, keep tuned for that, and a little bit of maybe rebranding and rejigging, but it'll be all the same old classic stuff hopefully. And to finish off then, I don't know whether it's a shell bomb, is it just news, but it's just funny how times have changed. I don't know if you know the actress Mary Tyler Moore. She was the first woman on a sitcom to wear pants. Oh my god. And the sponsors were so mad, writers limited her to one pant scene per episode. So only in one scene per episode will you see her wearing the pants. I just thought that was funny. I seen it on Facebook, Twitter, I think maybe, or I can't remember where earlier today, and I just thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, so that is episode 116, a small little waffle, a mini waffle, a mouche bouche of a waffle, whatever you like to call it, a one slice, a mini slice, mini pizza, 7-inch, whatever it takes your fancy of calling this. I think we will call it one slice. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Just one slice of pizza, just nice and small, and that's what you want. So that's me signing off. Whether it was a shell bomb or not, I don't know, but I hope you like the suggestions for pizzas, and we might come back later on with maybe pizzas down the country, or pizzas a bit further field from when you're on holidays over the summer. But that's it for episode 118. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, rate, like, share, subscribe, follow us wherever you see our little dainty podcast, and make us very successful in 2024. That's it.